Good morning. I'm a little bit of a mess today. Let's be honest. Say hi as you're hopping on so I know that you're here. Say hi, say hi. Hey Trisha. Of course, Facebook has told me 15 times already that you're here. It just always wants to make sure that I know. Look. Trisha's watching, Trisha's watching, Trisha's watching. Oh, Cora, I'm excited to hear that. I have a story for you regarding me finally learning the lesson of the biggest trigger you gave me in Wealthy World Changer and about how you were right. So cool. Wealthy World Changer is going to be launching again. And a new program called Wealth Warrior. Super excited. Super excited, super excited. Hey, Adria. Everyone say hi as you're hopping on. I think we're doing better at beating this algorithm thing, but it definitely helps if you say hi. It's Saturday morning in Bali. I almost said it was Sunday morning because I'm exhausted right now. I got bit on the face by a mosquito right here. This oil, you guys, it's basically eucalyptus oil. It's called Kajupu oil. It's amazing for mosquito bites. Yeah, put it in the Ouroboros Telegram chat for sure. I want to hear the things. I feel like you should make it an audio memo too so we can hear your voice about it. I got attacked in my bed by mosquitoes the other night, 2 nights ago. One on my face right there too. That one's luckily going away because I can't really put anything on that one. It's too close. Right here, right there. And there was one over here somewhere too. Not awesome, I'll tell you that right now. Say hi as you're hopping on. Let's do our best to beat Shitberg's algorithm. I can't believe I haven't gotten put in Facebook jail yet for calling him Shitberg. Hey, Brittany. Did you get an alert? Michelle, you're gonna love this live stream. I've been up taking care of Jack all night and cleaning up puke. So of course I had to live stream about it because you know how I feel about throw up. It's not what's up. It's really not. It's really enough for me to like employ overnight staff just so I don't have to clean it up. The struggle is real in the Steele Barnett house today, I will tell you that. There's a lesson in it though, which is why we're on a live stream in our pajamas. I literally just pulled my hair back in this bun. I have a scrunchie in my hair, you guys. I'm in my pajamas. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm trying to wake up. I'm feeling extremely grateful for my clients that let me reschedule this morning because I've had about 1 hour of sleep. Hey, Lisa. Oh, quantum entanglement is the same thing as getting a notification. Yes, so Jack is awesome because Jack is unvaccinated, and as a result, he has literally the most incredible immune system of any child I've ever met. He also swims in the dirty Bali River that has typhoid in it, and God knows what else. We know it has typhoid in it. He swims in it like every single day. So he is inoculated by nature 100%. when Jack gets sick, he gets sick for maybe 12 hours. It's like 12 hours of sickness, and when he gets sick, he gets really sick, but that only happens maybe twice a year. And typically he just pukes for like 12 hours, and then he'll sleep, and then he's fine. So that's basically what happened last night, except this was much faster. So he threw up like 5 times in like a 5-hour period, and then he fell asleep, and then I couldn't sleep because I was worried he was going to puke in my bed, so I was just laying there watching him for the rest of the night. And my room smelled like throw up, so I couldn't sleep. And then he woke up this morning, and he's fine. He's just running around like totally fine. I know, it is. We definitely need to make some merch that says inoculated by nature. I mean, you know how dirty the river is out here. He swims in it all the livelong day. He's great. He's just fine. So, but I want to talk about this because when I woke up this morning, I was realizing, and this is something I realized before, but it's so relevant to like this conversation about programming right now, right? Yeah, it is how you build your immune system. I mean, literally, like every time Jack has 2 women that like help take care of him, and every time they send us videos of him swimming in the river, we're like, he's getting another vaccine. He's just out there getting another vaccine in the river. And it's dirty, but he loves it, and he has so much fun, and his immune system is so strong. But this is like the power of programming, right? And it's so relevant with everything that's going on in the world today. And I just dropped like a quick little note in my Telegram channel this morning about this. If you're not in my Telegram channel, also, like definitely come join me over there. It's a lot less censored there. Let me get you guys the link. Oh, also, the other reason you want to join, what is today? It's today. Okay, look. You want to go join my Telegram channel today if you haven't already, because today, so I'll probably do it tomorrow morning, I am doing a drawing, and one person in my Telegram channel is going to win a wealth clear with me. And it doesn't matter if you've already been in there, but if you have already been in there, you need to register. Hold on, I'm gonna get you guys the... I totally forgot that I was doing this. The Wealth Witch subscription. So you've got to go to this page and opt in, because that's how we're choosing the winner. And if you're already in there, still go to this page and opt in, and then join the channel if you're not already in there, because it's awesome. But I'm giving away a one-on-one wealth clear with me that's valued at $1,000, and I'm choosing the winner tomorrow. So do the damn thing and go do that. Especially if you're already in there, make sure that you've opted in, because I'm not drawing from the group. I'm drawing from the opt-in. And I think only like 175 people have opted in, so the odds are actually really good. And there's like almost 600 people in the channel. So go join if you haven't already. That wasn't what I was going to talk about, but I did drop a little note about this in my Telegram channel this morning. So, yeah, everyone do the thing. And share it. Like, share it on your pages, because if anyone you think would love the channel, like, it's an awesome little gifty gift. So, growing up, I was raised by a single mom, and my mom is a powerful, powerful witch. Like, when I tell you powerful, I mean powerful. Like, her words are so powerful, for better or worse. But when I was little, my mom would just tell me things all the time. And she was very, very careful with the words that she chose and the things that she chose to tell me. But one of the things about my mom was she hates throw up. Like, she hates throw up so bad, and she's hated throw up so bad her whole life, that from my earliest memories of her, I can remember her telling me, we don't get the flu. We don't get the flu. And as a result of her telling me we don't get the flu, I've only had the flu, like the throwing up flu, twice in my life. In 44 years, I've only had like throwing up flu twice. And both times were because I was living with people that had the flu and were throwing up around me all the time, and then I got it. But other than that, like anytime I've lived by myself, and I lived by myself a lot most of my life, or lived with my mom, just didn't get it. Like, but she literally told me all the time, we don't get the flu, we don't get the flu, we don't get the flu. So whenever I get sickness stuff, it's all respiratory. I'm also a metal constitution, so you got the lung factor there as well. But I don't get stomach sickness. I literally was one of those people. I was a party girl, by the way, in high school and college, and I was literally one of those people that would never throw up from drinking because I hate throwing up. So my mom programmed me that we didn't throw up and that she hated throwing up, and as a result I hated throwing up, and so I would never throw up. Now, of course, I've thrown up from drinking a few times, but not many, especially considering the amount that I drank. I hate throwing up. I hate personally throwing up. I hate hearing people throw up. I hate smelling throw up. I hate seeing throw up. Like, I mean, I don't think anyone likes it, but my hate is like bordering on phobia. So my mom also told me, by the way, other great things that my mom programmed me with is she would always tell me I can be anything that I put my mind to. Like if I wanted to be the president of the United States, I could be the president of the United States. I never wanted to be the president of the United States. But she was always like, you can be and do and have anything you want that you put your mind to. Basically, like if you're willing to put in the work, you can have anything that you want. And she told me that all the time. And the other thing that she always told me was it was more important to be beautiful inside than to be beautiful outside. So those are the things, like there were a million other things, but those were the ones that literally she told me on repeat. We don't get the flu. You can be, do, have anything that you want as long as you're, and she wouldn't say that as long as you're willing to put in the work, but that was what she implied. So it was like, you can be, do, have whatever you want as long as you put your mind to it, right? Whatever you put your mind to, you can have, essentially. It's the most important thing is to be beautiful inside. It's much more important to be beautiful inside than it is to be beautiful outside. Clearly this is why you're not in healthcare, exactly. And I worked in addiction treatment for a while, so I've seen my fair share of puke, but yeah, not my jam. So life goes on, puke-free life goes on, and I have a son. And from the time he's born, I tell him, we don't throw up. I literally program him, Josiah, we don't throw up. And he has had the flu one time, the puking flu, one time at 9 months old, and it was because we were in a house with 2 other boys that were puking, that had the flu, and he threw up. And here comes my husband, the puker. Now you're gonna hear the story about Sean. What? No, I was up with Jack all night. He was sick. So Josiah has had the flu, throw up flu, once in his whole entire life. Once, okay? So programmed him. We don't get the flu. So then I marry my husband, and he's a puker. He pukes from nerves, he pukes when he gets sick, he gets the flu, he would rather just throw up and like get it out. And he has a son from a previous relationship, also a puker, also pukes from nerves, also pukes when he's sick, also gets the flu, puking flu, also just would rather throw up and get it out, puked during sports, like always puking. These two, okay? Not my jam. Luckily, when Sean and I got together, Jake was 11, so I didn't really have to clean up his puke. And Sean would clean it up because he knows how bad I hate puke. But then the worst thing happened. I had a son with Sean, and I forgot to program him. So, guess what? He's a puker. No, I have done Cambo. I have done Cambo 3 times actually, and that is a time. I hate puking. I hate that part of Cambo, but that is going into a expansive process with the intention of purging and cleansing. So that's different. Yes, I have done Cambo. I've actually done Cambo 3 times in the last year. I'm getting ready to go do it again, in fact. I do it every time I start a round of Ouroboros. So it's that time. Yeah, so I forgot to program him, Jack Barnett. And he's a puker. And that sucks. So when Jack gets sick, he gets puking sickness. Not respiratory sickness, puking sickness, which is probably a good thing considering what's happening in the state of the world right now, right, with respiratory viruses. But it means I have to clean up puke because Jack sleeps in my bed with me still. And on Nyepi, which is the 24 day of silence in Bali, I mean, it's great here because I have so much help, so many people that help me and staff and whatever, you know, like they're upstairs cleaning my room right now, which is so nice. I don't have to like worry about that. But on Nyepi this year, the 24-hour day of silence, all the staff were gone. It was just us. And Jack got sick. And he threw up all over the house. So I had to clean up throw up by myself on silent day in the dark. It was wild. And it was not awesome, I will tell you that. So I'm telling a story on a live stream about the importance of programming your children not to puke, and that
live stream about what?
Programming your children not to puke, but I forgot to program Jack.
Did he puke on you?
No,
last
he just
night?
puked all night.
Puked?
Yeah.
Oh no.
But he's fine now, of course.
Of course.
So I was telling the story about how I programmed Josiah and I was programmed, but then I forgot to program Jack.
Did you tell them the story about Jackson Hall when Jack puked?
No. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I have to tell this story.
Oh my god.
This is how you know I forgot to program Jack.
Oh my god, that was the craziest.
So that's my husband, the puker, who's just talking right there. Yeah, so now I have to deal with a puker. But, you know, this is the power of programming. Literally, this is how real it is. This is how powerful our words are. And it's too late now. Jack just knows he's a puker, so I don't think I can reverse the puking. But I commented in my Telegram channel this morning, and I was like, you know, what are you programming your... Yeah, I mean, I do plant medicine, and I fully understand the whole, I puked during my peyote ceremony the first time. Like, I understand the getting well thing. I understand all the spiritual mumbo jumbo. I just don't like to throw up, period. I don't like it. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like doing it. I don't like smelling it. I don't like looking at it. So, doesn't matter how spiritual I get. Doesn't matter how many spiritual processes I get. Like, I'm just not here for it. And that's okay. Like, that's fine, right? When it comes to Cambo, I'm absolutely willing to go and do that. Do it quarterly. Super happy and keen to do that. But that's a choice. Like, I'm choosing that. It's not a sickness is happening to me and then I'm getting ill, right? Anyway, this live stream is about the power of programming. So, I mean, I guess I could program myself to not hate puking, but literally I was programmed my whole entire life by my mom that I don't like puke and that I don't get the flu. I'm happy to have the programming of not liking throw up. I just wish I would have remembered to program Jack so I wasn't having to deal with it right now. But I was saying in my Telegram channel this morning, I was like, you know, what are you programming yourself with every day? What are you programming your children with every day? And I'm like, we literally right now all should be programming ourselves on a daily basis multiple times a day, and our children on a daily basis multiple times a day, that we do not get any variant of COVID. And like, when I had that realization this morning, I was like, you better believe, starting today, multiple times a day, I am going to be programming my children and myself that we don't get any variant of COVID. Now, I've already had COVID, but listen, I don't want the Lambda, Delta, Mu, Zeta. I don't want any of those. I don't want any of the variants, okay? Like, I'm done with it. I'm over it. So we are such powerful beings and creators. Imagine if we all just started today programming ourselves, journaling about it, affirming it to ourselves, writing it down when we remembered, and telling it to our children multiple times a day. We don't get any variant of COVID. We are healthy and strong, and our immune systems are vital, and we don't get any variant of COVID. Imagine if just the 21 people on this live stream did that every single day. What a ripple that would create into the world. But we're so powerful. We're such powerful beings. And I see it every day, and it's literally the work that I do. And, you know, it's funny that, like, I have this massive remembrance from, you know, a day staying up all night puking, or staying up all night cleaning up puke and watching my son puke, that, you know, that's what triggers this in me. But it's powerful stuff. So I'll tell you this story about Jack really fast because it's super funny. So we were going on a vacation. Jack, I guess, was 1. No, he was probably 18 months old. So he's like about 18 months old, and we went on a vacation from Salt Lake City to Jackson Hole. And if any of you have ever driven from Utah to Jackson Hole, there's 2 ways to go. One is like longer but not very windy, and one is really windy. And so we wanted to get there fast, so Sean decided to take the windy road. The other thing is, here's the other thing that sucks about me though. I get horribly car sick, and so does Jack. This is when we discovered Jack gets car sick. I get horribly car sick, so does Jack. I feel like I'm gonna throw up, but I never do. And that's like one situation where I actually wish I could throw up, because if I could, I would probably feel better from the car sickness. Anywho, that's another live stream. But so we get in the car and we're driving to Jackson Hole, and we stop, and Jack is like, I think because he was getting car sick, he was like, kept asking for milk. And so I kept giving it to him, and I'm like, wow, he's had a lot of milk, but he was just like, more milk, and he wouldn't eat any food. Now in hindsight, I think it was that he was feeling that car sickness, but he didn't know what it was. So he was just thinking that he wanted more milk. So he's had like 5 bottles of milk at this point. And I'm like, I'm finally like, I can't give him any more milk. Like, he's gonna get sick. So we're driving. We're on the super fucking windy road, Jackson Hole, and all of a sudden Jack starts throwing up. Milk. Disgusting. And he is puking like The Exorcist. Like, I have never seen so much puke come out. I mean, he was tiny too. He was just this little kid. So much puke coming out of his mouth. So much puke. And he's literally like projectile vomiting, and I don't know how he did it, but he threw up straight up in the air, and it came all down over his head. He was covered in puke. The car was covered in puke. I had just bought a brand new car seat that day for the trip. The brand new car seat was covered in puke. It was so crazy. Luckily, that first night we were staying we stayed like somewhere that first night, and then because I think we couldn't check into our hotel till the next day. So we stayed in like a little condo that first night, and it had a washing machine, so I was able to wash the car seat. But it was a crazy, crazy puke story. So that is when I realized that Jack was a puker. And yeah, not awesome. So I swear I didn't tag you regarding the puke talk. It's the programming talk. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so I want to talk about this because I think it's really important. And this is the work that I do in the world, right? Like, the work that I do in the world is deconstructing programming and conditioning. So obviously there is good programming and conditioning, and then there's programming and conditioning that's detrimental to us, and it doesn't serve our highest and best good. You know, programming ourselves that we don't get any variant of the COVID virus is in our highest and best good. Absolutely is in our highest and best good. My husband constantly programs my children, because the last thing he says to them before they go anywhere is be kind to others. Like, that's that is his program, like that he has chosen to program into his children. And so literally, whenever they say goodbye, whenever if he's ever dropping them off somewhere or they come say goodbye to him, he always ends his, like, as they're going off, it's like, I love you, be kind to others. And as a result, we have very kind children, like, you know, especially our middle son, like, and Sean took him to school every single day, drove him to school every single day when we lived in the United States. And literally every single day as Josiah would get out the car to go to school, he would say, I love you, son, be kind to others. And that boy is one of the most kind human beings I've ever met in my life. He has such an enormous heart. So it works, the power of our words. It's so, so powerful. And obviously we're all dealing with a lot of programming and conditioning that is destructive, and it doesn't serve our highest and best good. You know, it's what my program Ouroboros is all about. It's literally deconstructing the negative programming and conditioning that we hold around money, wealth, currency, that ultimately affects at a bottom line our worthiness and our deserving. And, you know, I'm like a little bit slow today, you guys. I've literally had like an hour of sleep, so just bear with me. I'm getting to the points. They're just coming a little bit slowly. It is just as easy for us to deconstruct negative programming as it is for us to take on and onboard positive programming when we know what we're looking for and we know how to do it. You know, and for me, obviously, I've created a powerful emotional clearing modality that deconstructs programming and conditioning. It's called emotional resonance clearing, and it's based in NLP and kinesiology, and the Chinese meridian system, and we use acupressure, and it's based in a 4,000 plus year old body of work called 5-element theory or philosophy. And what we do is we literally remove stuck, stagnant, programmed, conditioned emotional pathology from the organs and meridian systems of the body using acupressure points. And then we go a step further and deconstruct, make a break, basically, in the brain to body connection, because the more we imprint emotional pathology in the organs and meridian systems of the body, the more we reinforce negative primary questions in our neurotransmitters of our brain. And before you know it, those neurotransmitters with those primary questions, they've been reinforced by myelin to the point that we're on autopilot. So no matter what we want to do, right? No matter what we, if we're like, okay, you know, I'm going to, what's a good example of this? So, you know, negative primary question, I'll just use one from one of the sheets. My brain's not working very well this morning from lack of sleep, putting at barf all night. So let's say we have the primary question of who can I trust? We've got a water element imbalance. We've imprinted some emotional pathology in, let's say, the kidney, in our kidneys, and that's causing us to have a primary question of who can I trust? And we've you know, maybe the emotional pathology is fear, right? So we have fear, and we've continually imprinted that emotional pathology in our kidneys. And as a result of that, we've now made a brain to body connection, and we have a neurotransmitter that is holding a primary question of who can I trust. And because we're continually imprinting that over and over and over, that neurotransmitter is growing myelin around it. And that myelin is basically a reinforcement of that neurotransmitter. Once these neurotransmitters are reinforced to that degree, we start operating on autopilot. So even though, like, we may meet someone and we really like them, and you know, they're really great and they seem amazing, and like, we want to trust them, we like really want to trust them because they haven't given us any reason to not trust them, those neurotransmitters, that neurotransmitter that's imprinted that primary question of who can I trust, it's on autopilot. So we don't trust that person, no matter how trustworthy they are, no matter how much they do and show up to be trustworthy. we've got this primary question because of this fear, this emotional pathology, imprint of fear, that makes it so that we can't have free will, essentially. Like, that's basically what primary questions and stuck and stagnant emotional pathology take our free will away from us. And so no matter what we want to do, we kind of operate in these spaces of autopilot. And it doesn't have to be that way. We can deconstruct that, and we can clear that emotional pathology out, and we can create a break in the brain to body transference long enough to imprint a new thought. And this is where the power of repetition and the power of our thoughts becomes so important, because the only way to get rid of a primary question is to imprint a different one and make it stronger, right? So, it might be like the new proclamation that we may create after we release the fear from the organs and meridian system of the body. The new proclamation that we might create is, I'm open and trusting, or I'm open and trusting of others. But we've got to continue to imprint that I'm open and trusting of others once we've done the emotional clearing, or we just re-imprint it. So this is the work that we do in Ouroboros, and it's powerful because we're using this concept of programming that we've been talking about on this live stream, right? We're deconstructing the negative programming and conditioning that's holding us back on multi levels, which I'll talk about in a second. But then we're taking it further. We're also imprinting new positive proclamations to replace the old primary questions. And that's really the thing that this modality does that I haven't seen any other do, is this brain to body part, is tapping into 7th and 9th dimensional consciousness to actually create that break and allow us to imprint something new that does serve our highest and best good. There's lots and lots of incredible, emotional clearing just works. Like, it just works. It's proven. There are tons and tons of epic modalities out there in the world that do emotional clearing. This one's different than any of the others because we're using 5-element theory. We have a heavy, heavy focus on the elements. Everything is made up of elements. We are made up of elements. And so there's a lot of power in tapping into what already exists in us to help and assist to clear the emotional pathology from the body. We're actually getting ready to start our 4th round of practitioners. I'm so excited. The end of this month, we're starting our 4th round of practitioners. So if you're interested in knowing more about becoming an emotional resonance practitioner, definitely reach out to me and I can get you some information. It's a 6-month program. So 6 months of training and then 6 months of probationary licensure period where you have to do case studies. It's quite the process, but it's an incredible life-changing modality. So we use this in Ouroboros, my program, and it's amazing because we use it in lots of different ways. So we look at, current lifetime programming. So we look at programming from childhood, birth, childhood to now in this lifetime. We look at past parallel lives. We look at multi-dimensional, we look at current parallel dimensions. We look multi-dimensionally, dimensions 3D through 13D, and we look at the chakra system, Earth star through 13th chakra. We use the 13th chakra system. So this modality is really a combination of science and spirituality, and this program is really a combination of science and spirituality. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize about Ouroboros, is that it's highly based in science. It's not just this, spiritual woo-woo mindset your way to millions program. Like, I don't do that shit because it doesn't work. I am a person that loves hacks, and I'm always looking for, the next best way to get to my desired destination more quickly and with more ease. So this program is like 4 months of deeply transformative work. And there is a mindset component to it, don't get me wrong. And mindset work is really important, as we were just talking about. The power of our mind is so, so important. But we do deep emotional clearing that is designed to deconstruct and neutralize programming and conditioning across multiple lifetimes, timelines, and paradigms. So it's physical and spiritual in nature. We work concurrently with the physical body, the brain, the organs, the meridian systems that we just talked about, and the spiritual body, which is like the mindset stuff, the chakra system, multidimensional timelines. And we do that so that you can dissolve your trauma and create prosperity and abundance in your life. So this is the 5th round of this program. I can't believe it. We're going into round 5. We just started on Thursday. Doors are still open till next Thursday, so there's still time to join us if this calls to you. And I'll definitely actually drop you guys the link to the lead page, so you can find out more about the program there. If you want to experience a little bit of this program, I really recommend that you join the Ouroboros experience, which is, they were 2 free events, 2 free 3-hour intensives that we did last week, and you can still register for them and go and watch the content in there. Hold on, I'm trying to find the... It's kind of frustrating when I go to look for something. Oh, there we go. And my team doesn't put it where I like to have easy access to it. Here's the link to the Ouroboros experience. Like, definitely go register for that and watch the free 6 hours of content. It's going to give you more of an idea and experience of the program. If you haven't worked with me in this way before, and it's 6 epic hours for free, so you definitely want to go check that out. But yeah, I mean, to me, there's never been a time on this planet that is more important than now to do this work, because we are being controlled and manipulated by a global financial agenda. And everything that's happening in the world right now is a giant power play. And we are diving deeply into... What's the step? Is that first link to... No, that's my program, Ouroboros, my Wealth Repatterning program that I just told you about. It's a 4-month-long program that started Thursday, and doors are open till next Thursday. If you want information on the practitioner training, I can give you. We facilitate those queries in a Telegram chat. And I can give you that as well. You can come check out the prospects. Let me give you, here is the link for the practitioner training. There you go. And when you pop in there, then there's some videos to watch to give you the information on it. And I can answer your questions in that Telegram chat if you're interested in the training. Yeah, but we are being controlled with fear. I mean, it's interesting that I pulled up that I talked about the water element, because this element is how they're hitting us with all of this stuff with the virus and the vaccine. It's all through our water element. And we're being controlled and manipulated through fear. And it's fear around safety, stability, and security, and fear of death, right? And they're hitting us with fear, caution, paranoia, like all of it's so obviously being targeted to our water element. And then as a result, and many of us now are in a state of who can I trust? We don't know who to trust. We don't trust each other. We don't trust the governments. It's It's very much like this one side or the other. We don't trust anyone who is in the middle. It's like you've got to be on one side or the other. And it's just a giant shit show. And it all has to do with programming and conditioning. And it all has to do with literally us operating inside a mainstream matrix that was actually constructed and designed to control and manipulate us. And over the generations, we've basically just played right into it. And it's, that's rough, but it is where we are. And so what we need to do right now is take back control. And for me, I work with wealth, and I teach holistic wealth. And what I mean by holistic wealth is wealth in all areas of our lives, not just our finances, though that's certainly important. And that is, one of the main places that they hit us. That's one of the main avenues that they use to control and manipulate us, because we have to have money to survive on this planet right now and to operate inside this very, very broken system. But it's not until we deconstruct that programming and we start to see other ways of doing and being that we're going to be able to shift this. And our financial systems and structures, they are crumbling. They are not going to be here much longer because they're broken and they don't work. And we're seeing a lot of that happening in the world right now. And quite frankly, we are also being distracted from some of that that's happening by all of this power play around the virus and the vaccine. So, and I've had COVID, so I'm not saying there's not a virus. That's not what I'm talking about here at all. But I'm talking about the greater manipulation that's happening behind that. So, yeah, so that's my live stream for the day. Remember how powerful you are. You're the most powerful creator in your reality. And you have the ability to not only program yourself, but program your children. And so be careful, be careful of the programs that you're creating in yourself and that you're creating in our future generations. We really need to stay in a state of awareness around the type of ancestors that we are being, because we are ancestors and we are going to be leaving this planet to future generations. It's really important that we take that seriously. And that we not just think about the now, we think about what we're leaving for our future generations. Are we okay with the fact that right now our actions are saying that we agree with our future generations living in communism and totalitarianism, and we're okay with them living under the tyranny of governments? And that's not okay. That's not how we were meant to live. We were meant to have free will. We were meant to live heaven on earth experiences. We were meant to, have whatever it was that we desired, as long as we were willing to show up, right? And fully energetically back ourselves in those decisions. And those decisions are being taken away from us right now. And that's the thing that I think that we really, really need to be aware of. It's like, who are the ancestors that we are being in these moments? And what are we leaving to our future generations? And so that's why, I just feel so powerfully about this work that we do in Ouroboros, and why I think that there has never been a more important time to do this work. And I also think it's why I just am blown away. I've had 50 alumni coming back this round. 50 people that have already participated and paid for this program, choosing to opt back in and come back. Many of them for multiple rounds, right? This is our 5th round. I have many people that have been through all 5, have been in all 5 now. Because every time they come in, they peel back another layer of programming and conditioning, and they step into greater levels of worthiness and deserving, and they create greater levels of radical change and transformation in their life. So super honored. Got an incredible group of people. There's about 100 in there right now. 50, like half alumni, half new people. Never happened before. Totally blown away by that. And I know that there are some more of you out there that are meant to come and join us. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to me. Take a look at the lead page. Go participate in the free Ouroboros experience so you can get a feel for the work that we're going to be doing in the program. I'd love to have you, and certainly reach out to me in Messenger and ask me any questions that you may have. That's it. So I'm going to go figure out what I'm going to do with my day. I was supposed to work this morning, and my brain is not working. So I don't know. probably the spa and a massage maybe. And a nap later, for sure. 1,000,000% a nap. And hopefully no more puke cleaning up. At least for several months. So that's it. Have an amazing rest of your day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world as you're watching this live stream or you're catching the replay. And remember, it is your divine birthright to be wealthy in all areas of your life. And you're so worthy and you're so deserving. Mwah! Love you guys.